Hey, what's up, guys? Going out back in the video, and today I'm going to do my Naruto review, episode 100, English dub. So, here we go. So, the episode starts out with Rock Lee going into the fucking academy there. When he was like totally walking through the academy, we see Aruka letting out his fucking class there and shit like that. Told something about with Konohamaru there, saying I was saying something there. I was saying yes to him. He's like, never mind and shit like that. So mostly let him go and shit like that. And technically, um, technically, Ruka was actually saying something about. He's like, he is finally understanding about all this stuff and stuff like that. So he was actually saying stuff about that. Technically, technically, Konohama, I'm not Raruka was actually saying to Lee there, Lee was walking past his room and shit like that, and told Lee to, he actually saying something to Lee saying he can actually have a speed of recovery there and shit like that, and he said thanks and shit. So he was actually saying stuff about that, saying that he can actually have a speed of recovery and shit like that, and he said thanks and shit like that. We see in the next scene there, we see Tsunade still trying to figure out how to make Lee better and shit like that. Trying to figure out what jutsu Kabuto actually did to him and stuff in one of the episodes. She was still figuring out how to do that and stuff like that, and mostly she was mostly like reading texts and stuff like that, or mostly reading the books and stuff like that to figure out what she can actually heal Rock Lee with and shit like that. When she was actually just saying stuff about it. So when she was figuring that stuff out, we see Lee there was sitting on top of the on top of the school there. He was saying something about, or top of the academy there. He was saying something about like how he actually met Guy the first time and stuff like that. So and then technically he was trying to figure out how to do a ninjutsu there, but he couldn't do it there because he doesn't have really ninjutsu. When Guy came over and he's like, just keep working hard and shit like that. That's what Guy was fucking saying to Rock Lee there. He was telling him to keep working hard and shit like that. When he was saying something about him working hard and shit like that. When he was actually saying stuff about that. So he was kind of like remembering what him and Rock Lee was also kind of like remembering. He's like, well, technically, this is what Rock Lee was saying. He was saying like this. That was the first time he actually met Guy Sensei, or technically Guy there, and he was saying something about that and shit like that for it. So technically, when that was going on with that stuff there, we've seen another one where he was actually introducing his team there, telling Guy's team there and shit like that. And mostly Neji said something there. He said that he doesn't really care about it and stuff like that. He's like, this is like technically, he's like, most of this is not gonna be like what he wants and shit. So that's what he was saying, shit like that. Freaking Rock Lee, he was saying something about he wants to be stronger and shit like that, and mostly and stuff like that for it. And then Neji was actually saying you only pass it's because you use taijutsu there. You're much better at taijutsu there to pass. And that's what Neji was saying to Rock Lee. He's like you can't actually outlast or something like that. And so when he was saying stuff about that, and technically Guy was actually saying to Neji, saying like, well, he can actually do it and shit. you know, this you need to get more confidence and shit like that to your teammate. So he was actually saying stuff about that. There was a funny scene there where technically Guy was gonna challenge Akashi there. So he was actually saying something about challenging Akashi there and shit like that. And Akashi picked rock paper scissors. He fucking picked rock paper scissors there. So and then the guy was saying like, well, if I lose there, I will go in around the Leaf Village there with this all in my hands and shit like that, or do 500 laps with the Leaf Village with this all in my hands or so. So that's what he was saying and shit like that. So they were about to go there. Technically it got interrupted. His most of the flashback did got interrupted there, and then guy was talking to Lee there, saying something about what he should do and stuff like that. He should get the surgery, or he should not get the surgery there. And then Rock Lee was actually explaining about the rock paper scissors thing there to Guy, and then he's like, why he took that challenge there. It's mostly because of all the stuff there of my thing there and shit like that. So he was actually saying something about that with the Lee there and stuff like that. And then Lee was starting to break down crying and stuff. He's like, well, what I'm supposed to do here, if I don't take the surgery, I'm gonna be like this the rest of my life. And plus, he was kind of like remembering what Sonati was saying and shit, saying about it's a 50-50 chance there to actually heal him and shit like that. And mostly, technically, he was saying something about that he didn't know what to do and stuff. So he's seen in the flashback there where Kai was definitely walking with his hands there, and then he says something about he's like don't give up there, and he said he was actually Guy was saying to Lee, saying don't give up there, even if you fail there in life. He's like, you just have to get back up and actually do it again and stuff like that. So that's what he was saying to Lee and shit like that. When he was saying stuff about that with Lee, Lee was saying something to him. He's like, I don't really want to do this and shit like that for it, and that's what he was saying. And so he was saying something about like technically the guy was telling him just to take the surgery and just get it done and stuff. Mostly, and he's like, if you don't, he's like, if you die there, he's like, I'll die with you. That's what Guy was saying to Lee there. He was saying he will die with him there if he doesn't take the surgery, or if it fails there. So in the end of the episode there, Sonati figure out how to do the Jutsu formula. Astronomy came in and saying what it's doing and stuff like that. She was actually saying stuff about that, how it's like doing and stuff with it, and she said I figured something out there, and it will really help her and stuff like that. So she technically figured it out there and stuff like that for it. And then in the end of the episode, we see Tsunade being announced the 5th Hokage there. So, yep, that's pretty much it on this. And that's where the episode ends. That's pretty much it on this. Comment, rate, and response to this. Remember, if you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification so see more my uploads there. Comment, response to this. Remember, we like hang out. Out of your peace.